Okay guys, now this video is something I didn't think I would be making simply because this situation that happened regarding all of this is pretty cut and dry, but after further thinking and just letting all this information fully process, on top of being shown some very concerning stuff, and the situation getting crazier by the minute and not in a good way, I figured I might as well because, well, someone has to. So here we are. Music change please, editing me. Now, there is some context behind this, which is a whole different can of worms by itself, so in the interest of time, I'll just give you a super brief summary. So basically, it started with a guy called Tipster defending a drawing of a child character being sexualized. I cannot show it here due to it being literal CP, that's number one, and number two, if I did show it, I'd probably get fucking banned from YouTube. The best way I can describe it is a child character with a few straps of clothing covering the extremities. So, like I said, literal CP made with the obvious intention of sexually arousing people. So Tipster ended up coming to Keemstar's livestream to defend himself, where he outright admitted that the drawing is weird and uncomfortable in his own words. But despite this, he was trying to claim that the drawing wasn't that of a child, even though it very clearly is. After that, Tipster got upset by a comment made by Brother Nier 2.0 about a statement he made. This one right here to be exact. Now, there has been some back and forth between Nier and a couple of people, which Nier covered in depth along with the entire backstory with Tipster in a live stream, which I will link in the description. But one of the people who decided to join this whole shit show is the person we will be talking about today, and that is ShaunTheLegend. Now, ShaunTheLegend is a commentary channel focusing mostly on response videos, much like my channel, and he's someone that I had a run-in with in the past. I'll come back to this when it becomes relevant, but for now, let's start off with a statement he made towards Brother Nier. And since I don't have Twitter, I will be using the same livestream for all the clips, since I don't think it changes anything if the tweets are straight from Twitter or from a video featuring them in this scenario. But since Nier's replies are missing, I was also handed screenshots of a couple of them, so there's no missing context. All these tweets came from one of Shaun's alt accounts on Twitter, since he has a total of 3 accounts right now, as of my knowledge, with a 4th deleted one that's linked on his channel. And the thing that gives away that this is in fact his account is the fact that he links his YouTube and his main account on this account, as well as the pattern of behavior displayed by the account being a one-to-one to how he talks on YouTube and also in general.
Last but not least, we have Mitsuni Nika, otherwise known as this YouTuber. You may have heard of him. He did some videos on Synthetic Man, Mayo, and Griffin. ShaunTheLegend.
So yeah, this is the account he used to chime into the whole discussion, but instead of being reasonable and thinking before speaking, he decided to blindly defend Tipster for reasons which will become apparent later on, so be sure to watch until then, since the reason is quite disturbing actually. Also, I'm gonna also play this small clip of Nier looking for the tweet. Just keep in mind that all these tweets are less than 24 hours old, and notice how far the scroll bar at the left goes. And keep in mind, this is only one out of the 3 accounts he has.
Yeah, it's down here. It's during the whole thing with Tipster. Basically, he denies that it's CP, and then all the way up here we have a big argument. This is why I said I'm the black sheep in the commentary community. I already hate that fucking title.
Oh yeah, this is something ShaunTheLegend likes to do a lot. He likes to paint all commentary channels as just mindless drama seekers and put himself on a pedestal as like the only good commentary channel, and it's just so fucking pathetic.
And I don't associate with them on YouTube. They act like this person right here. They paint anime fans as degenerates, lovers, and pedos. I'm not associating with idiots like that. I'd rather be comfortable over here.
Now, before I let Nier's response to this play, I'd like to point out a few things. First of all, no one is painting anime fans as liking CP by default. You are the only person stupid enough to come to that conclusion. Hell, people aren't even saying that just liking regular Loli characters means you like CP. They are simply saying that sexualizing a character that looks like a child is CP, which is true, and that's an accepted fact by now. But I find it funny how this guy is perfectly fine with generalizing all commentary channels, but then when it comes to people potentially, mind you, generalizing anime fans, all of a sudden he takes massive issue with that. Also, newsflash dumbass, Nier literally likes anime, as anyone with eyes can clearly tell, so I don't see how this applies. But you know that already, don't you? And that's not the reason you're spinning it like this, as we'll come to find out. Second thing, Here he claims that Nier and other people criticizing Tipster are calling all anime fans predators. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can say the actual word without pissing off the YouTube bot, and I'm not gonna push my luck. And then telling everyone who disagrees with them to KYS, which are complete lies and he knows it. Not to mention, he has a video on his channel criticizing Griffin Gaming for slandering someone, but now he is out here doing the exact same thing. Well, it's technically libel, but potato potato, the concept is virtually the same. And I'm not trying to defend Griffin here because what he did was fucked up and I'm glad he owned up to his mistake. What I'm trying to point out is that Shaun is a complete hypocrite. It's perfectly fine for him to slander and libel someone, but when someone else does it, it's an issue. Honestly, fuck right off.
This person is someone I've dealt with before on YouTube. He's one of those morally grandstanding commentary channels who call anime fans pedos and stuff and tells people to kill themselves or they're retarded if you disagree with them.
And more fucking slander. And yes, I'm gonna keep saying slander instead of libel since it's a more known term, but there is almost no difference between the two. One is written and one is spoken. Wow, big difference. Also, saying the word retarded. Oh no, anyways. Now, let's hear what Nier has to say.
First of all, when did I ever tell somebody to kill themselves for disagreeing with me? Maybe as a joke on a few occasions, but when did I ever genuinely tell someone to off themselves over an opinion? And also, another thing, not once on Twitter did I ever call someone a pedophile for this. All I'm saying is that defending Lolicon is stupid. Calling someone a pedophile on Twitter for defending Lolicon would be accusing them of withholding said material. That's not the case here. I'm not accusing anybody of being a pedophile or withholding Lolicon shit. That's fucking retarded. That is a horrendous argument.
But now is a good time to also put in my 2 cents and share my experience with him because it goes to show that this is definitely not the first time he acted like this, victimizing himself while generalizing commentary channels and then also when facing criticism on his hypocritical take. So he made a community post which I found through a guy called Hypocrite Hunter 666 who agreed with it, basically criticizing Griffin again. However, this time it's for expressing his dislike of anime before apparently searching for it, without realizing that he is doing the exact same thing. He expressed his dislike of Griffin on multiple occasions, yet he is still stalking his channel and the live streams looking for any little thing to criticize, which is why he even found this out and made this community post. So my post mentions him more or less in passing since it was more directed at Hypocrite Hunter, but some parts do still apply to him. I won't go into too much detail, but basically I made that post and thought nothing of it until around 2 weeks later when he found the post and had a mental breakdown over it. First he says this Batakanta or whatever guy, implying he doesn't know who I am, even though the only way he could have found this post to begin with was if he went to my channel, went to the community tab and scrolled down, since this wasn't even the latest community post at the time. Of course, he later contradicts that by saying that he is surprised he didn't see it sooner, when the only way he could have seen it sooner was if he was subscribed to my channel with notifications on. He also tries to backpedal, saying he doesn't even watch Griffin, which is a very clear lie as I explained earlier, and also deflecting the criticism presented in my post by saying that I'm just seeking attention and making shit up. Why? Because he said so. But let me just humor the statement that I'm just trying to start drama. First of all, it's a community post. Only people who are subscribed to me, or those that go out of their way to look for it, such as yourself, will see it. Not to mention, I didn't ping you, and my mention of you was more or less in passing, as I explained. On top of that, what do I gain by starting drama with you? If I was just looking to start shit for attention, I would have gone after PewDiePie or MrBeast or some shit. And don't you find it weird how I didn't choose to make a video laughing at you for your freakout? Gee, I wonder why that is. But you will notice later on that this isn't the only time Shaun struggled with criticism to this level. But for now, let's continue with more broken logic as he responds to Nier's reply on Twitter. Oh yeah, fun fact. The reason Nier's replies aren't showing up in the stream is because he deleted his account after the fact, due to being attacked by a bunch of CP defenders from Shaun's audience on top of many other reasons. Yeah, Shaun lives on Twitter, has deranged extremists as a part of his audience. Go figure. And we'll find out why that is very soon. But thankfully, Nier did provide me with a few screenshots featuring his replies.
I'm not painting anyone as pedos, but just saying Loli is CP. So you're calling us pedos. You can't be this dumb. No! Calling someone a pedo for Lolicon would mean they're withholding it. Do you have lolicon in your files? I doubt it. But if you do, sure, maybe you are attracted to it. Maybe you do wax your carrot to literal fetuses. But not once in our conversations, in our arguments on Twitter, before I deleted my account, did I ever make the claim that someone was a pedo for this shit.
By the way, when they say loli in this context, they mean sexualized loli art. Just thought I'd clear that up now, so there's no confusion up until we get to the point where it becomes clearer a bit later. But yeah, notice how Shaun said us. So you can take this as either him feeling called out because he has a reason to be called out, or him feeling called out due to being literally brain damaged, and genuinely thinking that Nier is attacking all anime fans unconditionally. And guess which one it is? This is a snippet of a picture he liked on Twitter on his main account. The reason I cannot show the rest is because on the other side of the chain it depicts a little girl barely dressed washing the dishes. Do I have to say anything? And that is just one fucking picture. As I've been shown by someone who has a Twitter account, his likes section of Twitter is full of shit exactly like this. After this came out, he privated all of his accounts, which could be a coincidence, but I'll let you decide. Now, while privating does hide his accounts, the people who he's interacting with are still visible, and those interactions are beyond vile. Like this artist, who he is frequently interacting with, sending him almost entirely naked pictures of children as a good morning gesture. The only clothes they wear is the fucking underwear. This is the kind of shit he's involved in. There is simply no defending this. And who knows what kind of shit he's been getting in private. So it's no wonder why he's defending John CP so hard, because he's also fucking indulging in it. Knowing this, it gets even worse when he says this shit.
That's kinda... Jesus fucking Christ. So you admit the authorities don't care and it's a waste of time and blah blah blah, but you think it's still wrong and it's still CP. Yeah, sure, the authorities are not going to do anything about it because it's a waste of resources, but that doesn't make you right. That doesn't make anybody right for viewing that said material. It just means the cops don't care. They'd rather be looking for actual pedos making actual child. But just a drawing doesn't mean anything to them. That doesn't make you right. That doesn't make anyone right for viewing lolicon. It's still CP.
Like, what borderline retarded logic is that? So going by this logic, if murder wasn't illegal, someone killing their entire neighborhood because they were told their party was too loud would be perfectly okay according to this guy. I mean shit, real life CP was legal in Japan up until 2014. So if we go by this logic, those that consumed it before that did nothing wrong because it wasn't illegal and authorities didn't care. Not to mention, Japan, the country where lolicon originates from, classifies it as CP but makes an exception for it in the law. Yet despite that, consuming that content is frowned upon in Japan, just like consuming actual CP. But wait, why is that if the fact that authorities don't care make it perfectly fine? Oh wait, because John CP is still CP. Honestly, I can't even think of a word to describe complete and utter Neanderthal. Shit, even that is an insult to Neanderthals.
So, that's the bottom line. That whole thing with Twitter ended up being a giant cesspool, and my Twitter got raided by a literal army of degenerates who think lolicon is okay. I'm just saying this right now. If you think that shit's okay, you might need to go to therapy. And it's just it was a wild time on Twitter. That's the reason why I deleted it. The first reason was Vincent Martin, because he used my suicidal breakdown as an own. And then the next reason is because ever since I had that argument with ShaunTheLegend on why it's CP, a lot of people on Twitter started raiding my account, calling me names, saying I'm wrong, saying lolicon is okay because there's no actual children being involved. Sure, there's no actual children being involved, but I don't care how much you want to play semantics with lolicon. It's still a child, it's a depiction of a sexualized minor, and by default, that means it's CP.
So that's the end of the initial Twitter thing. However, ShaunTheLegend decided that he is not done yet, and that he should die on this hill defending Drone CP to make himself feel better. So not even 24 hours after the livestream, ShaunTheLegend found it, gee I wonder why, and left this comment. Laugh my ass off. I joined your Discord to see if you were active and to talk over what happened since you wanna accuse people of being predators over drawings. Bro, listen to this. He's downplaying it as drawings. But here's the reality of it, retard. The feeling of pleasure you get when you are sexually aroused is the same, no matter if it was caused by a provocative drawing of a child or a real child in provocative situations. You are attracted to a depiction of a child. Like I said, I never liked you. My bad, ex-girlfriend. Only a few of your videos and some things against Mayo and Griffin, pretty much everybody disagreed with those two takes. Also, I'm not worth a video on. That's okay, man. Now you get to be in my videos, so there you go. Hope that this is everything you wanted. Bruh, ironic how he's calling out others for attention seeking. Yet you dedicated a portion of your stream, which is a recorded video being broadcasted to people, towards me. Bruh, what is this tinfoil hat theory? Motherfucker, it's an actual live recording. How else could he interact with the chat and react in real time? And even if it was by some miracle pre-recorded, why does it matter? Anything to deflect criticism, I guess. Make it make sense. That's okay, man. I know you have some serious mental deficiencies, so I hope my explanation was good. I'm glad I don't associate with this garbage commentary community, and I'll continue doing my own thing. Now this is hilarious because if you recall from earlier, how did he find my community post? By randomly going through my channel and looking over absolutely everything I posted. How did he find this livestream? By being paranoid and scanning Nier's channel and watching every piece of new content, including the entire livestream. So I find his statement that he doesn't associate with other channels completely rich, considering he's subscribed with notifications on to multiple channels and constantly scans them for anything even remotely negative towards him, anime, or his precious CP. And it's no accident this includes Nier and even myself, so I entirely expect him to see this video and leave a comment playing the victim like he did here. So bro, before you do it, maybe explain yourself instead? Revolutionary concept, I know. While you and everyone else whine over stupid stuff regarding Loli, furries and anime fans into your constant echo chamber of a fanbase till the world collapses, so good riddance. Just listen to this projection. So he's trying to call out Nier for having an echo chamber audience just because he dared to criticize him. Meanwhile, Shaun is constantly victimizing himself, saying that he's the black sheep of commentary channels, saying how every other one is just an attention seeker, on top of attracting borderline deranged people with statements and actions like those we've seen. All of these are pretty much a recipe for an echo chamber audience. Anyone who seriously follows him cannot not be in an echo chamber if they genuinely believe in what he's saying. So this is literal projection on his end, in yet another pathetic attempt to shield himself from criticism. Now that's completely ironic. Guy with a channel focusing on criticizing others cannot take criticism to save his life. After that, Nier challenged him to a debate and he declined for now obvious reasons, while stating how much he doesn't care yet again. And then he made a statement saying that Loli is weird. Now, I'm guessing he meant lolicon because his YouTube avatar is literally a loli. But then he parrots that it's magically not CP, because he needs any excuse to keep consuming such content. I don't think he realizes that parroting the same point that has been already proven objectively false doesn't somehow make it right, bruh. Disgusting doesn't even begin to describe this guy. Not to mention, he's also molding on Twitter, complaining that Nier is calling him a predator over lolicon, which, number one, yes, that's typically how it works. Number two, Nier was charitable enough not to call you that actually. And number three, in your case, it's fucking true, so you don't have any room to talk. He is also victimizing himself yet again, it's practically a routine at this point, saying that people calling him out are just starting drama while continuing to defend lolicon, saying that the people who are criticizing him are worse than people consuming CP. Yeah, I mean, of course he would say that since he's one of them. Bro, I'd rather you do math at this point. And regarding the comment about starting drama, if the criticism presented is valid, why does it matter what the intention is? Not to mention, Shaun was the one who started all of this. He inserted himself into a conversation he wasn't a part in and started defending CP. Again, you have absolutely no room to talk. He did say more in other comments on Nier's community posts and whatnot, but it's just talking in circles, refusing to admit that lolicon is CP and explaining how he never had respect for Nier. You can read through it yourself, but yeah, that's the whole situation as far as I could find out, and while he keeps digging himself into an even bigger hole by the second, I don't think it's necessary to hear the same parroted bullshit a million times over, so cue the outro music. As you can see, this guy is definitely completely fucked in the head, and I feel like someone has to call him out on his bullshit because at this point, him and his drones and CP consumers have been completely piling on Nier for simply stating that water is wet. The craziest part about this whole situation is that if he kept his mouth shut and didn't start freaking out and looking guilty as fuck, him enjoying CP probably wouldn't have been uncovered, at least not for some time. So yeah, I don't wanna dwell on this much longer because it's seriously boiling my blood. Be sure to like and subscribe to boost me in the algorithm. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.